Hello everybody, today we have all 8 of the LEGO Movie Action Cups. These are from release at McDonald's. They started at the debut of the LEGO Movie in theaters on February 7th, 2014. I do not have the end date for them, but I know at this time they are no longer available from there and they have moved on to the next Happy Meal series, Peabody and Sherman. Unfortunately, with this review, I am only going to cover the cups. I have done previous reviews where I mentioned Emmet, Wildstyle, and President Business cups, and showing some of their McPlay app features. Unfortunately, I can't show you the McPlay app features for some of these other ones, because they are no longer available on the app. As the Happy Meals work through the Happy Meal, as they're being distributed at McDonald's, those app games are available. But after the series is over and they move on to the next series, the app does the same. So I can't go to those games that we have not covered yet. I do apologize, but we will still get to look at each of the cups. Basically, just know this for the games. What is shown on the cup has a relation to the game itself, and mainly the goal of the game is to collect different food items, such as apple slices or different, basically fruits and vegetables and milk, and healthy food choices for kids. That's kind of your main goal. You have some obstacles here and there. You have different ways of getting them, but I can't go over all of those ways since I do not have that availability on the app anymore. So we're just going to take a look at the cups. Let's open them up now and see what's inside. Now, the outside of the cups really don't have much of a special feature to be looked at. They all basically have the same form. They say the number on top, which we'll go over, also shows you the name of the set, or should I say cup, because it's not really a toy. And each of them inside has the same identical 2 papers. One of them that shows all 8 of the cups, and what their designs are. And on the other side of it, it says, wash before use, do not wash in dishwasher. Not intended for microwave oven. Just some safety features to know for using these cups. That's basically what it's telling you. But the other one tells you every LEGO Movie Happy Meal has McPlay power. Unlock the games in McPlay. The app available from the App Store, which we've went over before, no longer has that function for these toys. And then it shows you how to get it. Basically, you download it from the App Store or Google Play. Then it shows you how to scan the cups, basically scanning each of the characters' faces, and then it shows you the game is unlocked, and you can play all the games after unlocking them. So that's all you need to know as far as those little leaflets inside of the packages. Let's start off with number 1. We have Emmet. Now, Emmet is we all know about Emmet, don't we? He's the main hero of the film, so it makes sense for him to be number 1. And all of these cups have a really nice, they're about 3.5 diameter at the top of it. They do obviously have a shorter one at the bottom, but, good enough for a kid-sized cup. Good size for them to drink from. But we can see on the side of this, it has that kind of scratchy, feely texture. And that texture is there for allowing it to move around a little bit. So you can see Emmet moving his hammer and his arm back and forth. He also has a little bit of facial movement. And on the other side, we get to see this little falling effect for him, where he's just kind of falling into the background. The background's turning around and changing colors. And as far as I know, this app game features him falling, as he does in the movie, through a vortex. And through that vortex, you get to move him around, trying to collect healthy foods. So there we have the Emmet Cup, number 1. Next up we have number 2, which is Wildstyle. Now Wildstyle is our main female hero in the movie. She's the one that finds Emmet and understands that he's the one to fulfill the prophecy. For those of you who haven't seen the movie, I'll briefly mention these characters. She also has a little bit of movement where she's putting some pieces together to make some really cool weapon, or maybe to assemble a new vehicle. And this in the background shows her and Emmet driving in a motorcycle built from alleyway pieces. Also featured in the movie, kind of like that. And the app, as far as I know, shows a game where you drive around as Wildstyle. You can hop over different obstacles, and you can basically collect little stuff, little healthy food choices. So, they'll all have that basic theme to it, but to show you that basically she drives around with that. So there we have Wild Style. Number 3, we have Batman. And I just noticed from the leaflets inside of this package, and it might be varied for some other ones. Kids go free with a paid adult. There's a little coupon ticket that you can use once you go to Legoland or the Legoland in the the amusement parks or Legoland Discovery Centers. So that's also a nice little benefit for getting these. If you wanted to get them in other ways, you usually can get them through Lego poly bags. They're very small and usually towards the register or in the seasonal section of your local stores. So let's take a look at Batman. He's got a little angry face when we move him around, and he, waves up his batarang. There's a nice effect on there. And on the back, we get to see Wild Style moves around, waving at Batman. Then we also see Emmet in the background, and then Batman just appears with the bat symbol and the large Batmobile. I don't know what the app does because I have not played it at the time of this recording, so I do apologize. I can't tell you how it works. But I would imagine it's probably similar to Wild Style, where you drive around as Batman and collect healthy foods. All these have pretty much the same inside and same bottom, so probably don't need to show that again. But there we have Batman. Number 4, we have Unikitty. Unikitty is a combination between a unicorn and an anime cat. Very cool figure from the movie, very unique. And we could see her expressions change just as she does in the movie. She could be really happy, enthusiastic, or somebody might get on her nerves and she gets really angry. So we got the nice variation between the two as we flip this back and forth. Now on this one we get to see a little bit of action also from the movie. They launch a giant tennis ball into the main palace where Unikitty resides. And you can see a little bit of action as they try to escape from the tennis ball because they're under attack in Cloud Cuckoo Land. Again, I have not played the app, so I'm sorry that I can't show you how that works. But you can see a good variety of characters in the background, all of which have some nice motion. And it doesn't look like these lollipops move or anything, but also, just a nice, motion with all of these moving around. Nice little cup. Number 5, we have Good Cop and Bad Cop. For those of you who don't know, this is the main character, he's not a main character, he's kind of a main character, but he's the main officer of the police force in the Lego movie. He has an altered personality where one side of him wants to be very kind and helpful as a police officer, and very understanding and polite. The other side is very ruthless and determined to reach his goal no matter what, even if he has to get in people's way. So we got that change between him as we flip this back and forth. Bad Cop and Good Cop. You can see the name change, the position where they have their hands, and also their face changes. So on the back, we get to see a lot of action on here. We get to see, I see Wild Style running. I see a lot of robot SWAT vehicles and some robots themselves on on horseback running across. And then Bad Cop in the little cop car that he has is flying across and shooting lasers. Very cool look on the back of that. Just a nice background too, to see that Western theme. And also has some clouds moving in the background if you look very carefully. Also, almost, some of these even have like a 3D effect to them, because you see some of them more clearly in the front, so it makes it look like it's in 3D. So then we have Good Cop, Bad Cop. Number 6, we have Metalbeard. For those of you who aren't aware of him, he is a pirate who lost most of his body while fighting the main villain, and then he tried to reassemble it into this large pirate-like mech, which is really cool, if you ask me, as far as a unique character. So a lot of him, had to be shrunk down so you could see the full outfit. But he would normally be much bigger than the regular minifigures we've seen so far. You can see he has a little bit of motion in him. His face changes, his cannon moves, and his shark arm also moves around. As we turn this to the back, you can see his big pirate ship flying across well, sailing across the ocean. We have a couple police drop ships on either side, and he's shooting at one of them over here. Again, it has more like the 3D look and some of the lasers and some of the background. You can also see on the bottom, we have a mermaid that's swimming across, just happens to be in the area of this large battle. So very nice little details in that, you know, to have that ship moving around. And it's a really steampunk looking ship if you've seen the Lego set for it. Very cool design on that. So there is Metalbeard. Number 7 is Vitruvius. Alright, I can't do a Morgan Freeman accent right now. Or impression, whatever. But that's the character who plays this one. I forgot to mention the other voice actors before, but you can check them out online. This character is Vitruvius. He's kind of like a Gandalf figure for this movie. You know, he's a wise old man who used to protect the secret weapon. He helps Emmet along with his journey. He always encourages him, and he tells him a prophecy of the Special who is supposed to defeat Lord Business and save all of the Lego world. So you can see a look at him on the back. You get to see his older version on the first part, where you get to see really nice sparkling details. He's got a nice robe with him, but it also changes. He becomes blind early on in the movie, spoiler alert, so his eyes are more whited out in this section. He also has a little bit of change in his outfit. It's a little hard to see, but he actually has a little hippie outfit underneath here, if you turn it the right way. So then what we have on the back, we get to see him in his room in the Wild West world. This is the older version of him, that is, and he's showing Emmet in his little cowboy outfit. This little creation that he's made looks like some kind of bird, and they do show a bird similar to this in the Lego movie. A little bit smaller, I think, than the one they show here, but a nice look on that, just to show him how Emmet can be creative. It's a nice little background, and, you know, get the flapping motion with the bird. You also see their gestures as they move back and forth, and a little bit of 3D detail all around. It's a very nice looking Vitruvius cup. And last but not least, we have the big baddie himself, President Business, also known as Lord Business. You can see his variation change from his regular attire to his Lord Business attire. This is how he would wear him. Here's how he would look as he was, you know, patrolling around Lego City and letting people know, you know, that he's a generous guy, very friendly, you know, and keeping order, but, you know, telling everyone to follow the instructions. And then we have his Lord Business, where he's very serious, very demanding, you know, ruthless. I can't describe him enough. What we have on the other side is his relic room. This is a secret room in his giant office tower where he gets to make plans, but also has a large collection of unusual objects. Some objects including nail polish, rubber bands, and even band-aids. These are the kind of objects that are unfamiliar to the Lego people, but are from the human world, and have somehow stumbled into the Lego world. I won't tell why, or how. So what we have in here, we have this very large machine, which did not appear in the movie as far as I'm concerned. Nothing even appeared like it in the Lego Movie video game, from what I've known. And we get to see a little bit of action as this thing, you know, pops out all of its weapons of mass destruction. Each of his executives on the bottom are moving backwards in shock. Even Bad Cop is shown here in fright from this monstrous machine. What I know from the game, from the app, they have a small game where you patrol around as this in the relic room, trying not to destroy the towers that these relics are sitting on, but you have to collect all of the healthy foods. It's a very difficult one from when I tried to play it. And I'm sorry that I didn't get the other apps to work, because it was too late. But, you know, this one's interesting as far as this cup goes. And as far as the apps, they're okay. You know, something definitely geared towards younger kids, with the idea of, you know, having them make healthy choices for their foods. So there we have all of our Lego Movie cups. All 8 of them in one big collection. They're nice to collect. Would I personally use them much? Maybe, but I don't know. They don't you know, as far as a Happy Meal toy, they're not really a toy. And that's something I've noticed, you know, it's kind of odd, you know. In the way of Lego merchandise, you know, through Happy Meal toys, they've taken away from them being toys, and they started moving towards these in recent years. And I guess I'm just going to have to go with it as best as I can. It's okay for them being cups, because they're not too bad if you need cups, but I think everyone has cups. And even if you had these, you know, it's, you know, some of them have some nice designs and all, but personally, I think they'd be good as, you know, just like collector's items. They probably wouldn't be good to use. I mean, I don't know. They may not even serve much of a purpose for me, but I just thought, hey, why not? I can collect these. And it's not really that much, you know, to get them. Although, after their, at least when they were in Happy Meals, it wasn't much to get them, because you just get the Happy Meal itself. And even if you got duplicates, you could still ask your McDonald's employees if they, you know, if you can just exchange one cup for another one so you don't have duplicates. I've done that, and it works. But as far as getting them now, after they've been released from McDonald's and they've now moved on to other toys, you're probably not going to get these. I mean, you know, how much purpose are you going to have for these? Unless you're a big Lego fan and you really like the Lego movie to collect a lot of Lego items. I am a Lego fan, though, so I was happy to collect these. But I would just have to say, if you don't have all of these, I don't know how best you're going to get them, because most likely they're going to be on the market, you know, on eBay or something like that. And I don't know how much they're going to go for, but we're just going to have to see. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about these Lego Movie action cups. Not really much action, as, you know, would have been expected, because it's more just like a visual looking at it, you know. And even with the app not being available, kind of depreciates in value. When I first reviewed these on Maniac for Lego, I didn't really have much respect for them. And truth be told, I didn't like the apps much better. But I thought the apps would have been at least a little bit more to give to this. But now that the app doesn't work for these cups, I'm a little bit more disappointed with just the promotion value for this. Because that's something to look forward to, but then you only have it for a limited time. So, yeah. Sorry that I couldn't get it through. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you later with more reviews.